Alright people, imagine looking into an aquarium and seeing a fish that camouflages like a leaf, an eel that most people think can't survive in fresh water, and a fish that literally spits water to hunt its prey. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 of the most unusual fish that you can keep in your home aquarium. And yeah, let's get started. Now the first fish I have on my list is the African butterfly fish. Now at first glance, you might not even notice the fish in the tank. You see, they've got incredible camouflage abilities and they literally look like a floating leaf. But trust me people, this is one of the most interesting predator fish that you can keep in your aquarium. First things first, they are a top dwelling fish, so they will usually occupy the top part of an aquarium. They only really go down when you're doing things like water changes, which stresses them out a little bit. Now they do this because their main diet is small insects, and in the wild they've adapted in a way to literally mimic the look of a floating leaf, and the way they hunt is so crazy. They slowly sneak up to an insect, and the insect of course doesn't even notice the fish coming because it just looks like a leaf, and then when it's the perfect moment, the butterfly fish strikes, and you can actually see this behavior in the aquarium. If you add something like crickets into the aquarium during feeding time, the butterfly fish will sneak up on them and will attack them, and it's so fascinating to watch. Now it gets the name butterfly fish from its large wing-like fins, which makes it look like a butterfly, but it also contributes to making the fish look like a leaf. And then on top of that, its bottom fins, they're kind of long and it makes it look like roots. So small fish may see that and think they are roots, and they may come close because they think it's some kind of shelter, and then of course the butterfly fish will strike. And yeah, its camouflage abilities and the way it's just adapted, it really is fascinating. Now another great thing about them, they kind of look like mini arowanas, and that's because they are actually related. So if you're a fan of arowanas but you don't have a big enough aquarium, you could get the African butterfly fish, which kind of looks like a mini version of them. But yeah, they're incredible fish, and the only real downside to them is they are only active during feeding time, and they are also jumpers, so you will definitely need a tight fitting lid. Now the second fish I want to talk about is the freshwater moray eel. Now when people hear moray eel, they immediately think of the massive sharp-toothed predators from the ocean. However, did you know there are also freshwater moray eels which stay a bit smaller and they are much calmer? As a matter of fact, you can actually keep them in a community aquarium. You see, I've got 2 of them. They're both in my Roma 240 and they live there peacefully alongside my other community fish. Now the thing is, the freshwater moray eel is incredibly rare. Like, they can be very difficult to find. I mean, I only ever come across them randomly when certain fish stores actually manage to get them in. Yeah, they're not really fish that you can find in any old fish store. However, they are getting more popular. So as time goes on, hopefully they will be a bit easier to get a hold of. Now just to be clear, the only freshwater moray eel that I know about is the Gymnothorax polyuranodon. There's also the Gymnothorax tile, but that is actually a brackish species, so don't get them too confused. The Gymnothorax tile, I think another name for them is mud moray or golden dust moray. Yeah, that specific species is brackish, and then the Gymnothorax polyuranodon, or they're also known as tiger moray eels or leopard moray eels, that is the freshwater moray eel. Now the incredible thing is they literally look like their marine counterparts. Like, their faces are so similar and the whole body shape itself. The only real difference being that the freshwater moray eel stays much smaller. Now I should mention these eels are escape artists, so you do want to make sure you have a tight fitting lid and close off any kind of gaps. And even though you can keep them in a community setting, like I've got them in my Roma 240 with other community fish, you should keep in mind that they will eat smaller fish, and they may even go after some bigger fish if they are hungry enough, or if you have a particularly aggressive individual. However, generally speaking, they do tend to be humble fish, or eels. But yeah, if you're looking for a real oddball fish, this is the one for you. Now the next fish I want to talk about is the ghost knifefish. Now I've got a ghost knifefish in my Roma 240 and I absolutely love her, man. Like, the way she swims about in the aquarium, it really is so different compared to all the other fish. Like, they kind of glide around and they have that rippling effect underneath from their fins and that, and just the whole shape itself, they just look so different compared to any other fish. They really do have one of the most unique body shapes in the aquarium hobby. Now one little drawback is they are very nocturnal. Like, my one hardly comes out during the day. I mean, she does come out during feeding and every now and then she may pop her head out a little bit, but most of the time she will only come out at night, and during the day she spends most of her time in the cave. So yeah, do keep that in mind, and I guess also keep in mind that ghost knifefish do get quite big, so you need a spacious aquarium. Oh, by the way, that's the same thing for moray eel. If you're looking to get one, you will also need a spacious aquarium. And with the African butterfly fish, well, they're alright that in a slightly smaller tank. Like I've got 2 in my Fluval Roma 200 and they are completely fine in there. But yeah, back to the ghost knifefish. Do keep in mind they do need big aquariums eventually, so if you are looking to get one, make sure you have a backup plan or make sure you have a big enough tank. But yeah, even though the ghost knifefish is fairly common in the hobby, they are still incredibly unique and they are really underrated, man. And the way they move around in the aquarium and their intelligence really sets them apart from many other aquarium fish. But yeah, people, let's move on to the next fish, and this one is a truly unique fish that is absolutely incredible, and that is the Chameleon Whiptail Catfish. Now, I've got a Chameleon Whiptail Catfish in my Fluval Roma 240, and they've got this really cool behavior where they bury themselves in the sand and only really have their eyes showing out, and it kind of gives them this, I don't know, it kind of makes them look a bit like a predator that's kind of waiting for its food and then it will like pop out and grab its prey and that. But in reality, they are actually very humble fish, so you can keep them in a community setting and they won't go after any of your fish. Apart from maybe really small ones like cherry shrimps or something like that, they may end up as a snack. But most of your normal community fish should be alright with the Chameleon Whiptail Catfish. And yeah, that unique digging behavior really sets it apart from many other fish. It's something so rare. I mean, you get fish that dig around in the substrate and, you know, move things about and that, but the Chameleon Whiptail Catfish literally buries itself, and the best thing about it, it doesn't even make too much mess. Like, my Roma 240 is a planted aquarium. However, when the Whiptail Catfish buries itself, he hasn't uprooted any plants and he kind of looks for the open areas to dig himself in, which is really convenient because, yeah, if he started digging around all over the aquarium, then he would most likely uproot some of the plants. But yeah, man, he's not. He just kind of does his own thing. Now, it also has almost, I don't know how to explain it, man. That elongated look kind of gives it a lizard look, or maybe even a prehistoric look. I don't quite know how to explain it, but that elongated fish body, it looks so cool. Now, this is not the reason why they're called the Chameleon Whiptail Catfish. The reason they're called that is because they also have the ability to change their color to match the substrate that they're buried in. Now, not completely. Whenever my Whiptail Catfish is in the substrate, I can recognize him straight away. Like, it doesn't look like he can literally turn himself into that same black like the sand. However, there have been moments where his scales did turn darker and he tried to match the black sand. And yeah, this is basically where the name comes from. They can kind of camouflage and change the color of their appearance. And yeah, even though this is most probably more of a defensive behavior, it really makes it look like it's a predatory behavior. Like, it looks like they're waiting to ambush their next victim. But yeah, guys, if you want a fish that is unusual but oddly satisfying to watch, then the Chameleon Whiptail Catfish is a fantastic choice. Before we carry on, a quick announcement. I'll be jumping on a live stream with Mike from Mike Loves Life Aquatics on the 27th of April. He's got some really cool tanks and we're just gonna sit down and chat about fish and aquariums. And yeah, we haven't confirmed the time yet, but make sure to note down the 27th and keep an eye on Mike's channel. And yeah, man, thank you, Mike, for inviting me. And finally, we have what is probably the most intelligent fish on this list, and that is the Archerfish. Ayo, these fish are famous for their ability to shoot water, and they do this to actually shoot down an insect. Like, let's say in the wild, there's a branch that kind of sticks over the water and there's an insect crawling on that. The Archerfish, who has incredible vision by the way, can literally see that insect, take aim and shoot water at it so it drops into the water and it can have a little snack. And the best thing is you can actually keep these Archerfish in your home aquarium and you can teach them how to shoot things down. Now people, I'm going to be completely honest, I have tried and I've never been able to do it. However, one of you guys have sent me some footage before, so I'll put it on the screen so I can show you guys. Shout out to Dennis, thank you so much for sending me this really cool footage so I can show the rest of you this incredible behavior. But yeah, the Archerfish's ability to shoot water and shoot insects down is honestly one of the most incredible behaviors you will see in the aquatic world, and it's just so amazing to know that you can actually have these fish in your home aquarium. Now it's important to note that there are a few different types of Archerfish and most of them are brackish. However, there is the clouded Archerfish that is actually freshwater, and yeah, like I said, they are absolutely incredible, man. I've got 3 of them in my Roma 240 and their behaviors are so amazing. And yeah, like I already mentioned, I've tried to get them to shoot things down but I haven't been able to do that yet. But yeah, even without their water shooting behavior, they truly are incredible fish to have in your aquarium. So There you have it, guys. 5 of the most unusual fish that you can keep in your home aquarium. Whether you want a fish that can camouflage, bury itself, glide like a ghost, or literally spit water to hunt, there is something here for everyone. Which one of these fish do you find the most fascinating? Drop a comment down below and let me know which one of these you would love to keep in your own aquarium. If you want to see more videos like this, then please remember to subscribe. And if you would like to see the day I bought my Chameleon Whiptail Catfish, then click right here.